Here come the Sharks then. Emily Crow, Leah Cuthbertson, Natalie Druitt, Emily Hager, Ali Hogg, Emily Irons, Lois Lau, Ayla Payton, Erin Payton, Liv Ray, Bronte Sykes, Lydia Ticehurst, Julia Arnsworth and Jenny Young. And we'll play in the blue. And on come the Taipans as well. Nikki Bird, Georgia Clancy, Emily Clues, Stacey Collins, Naomi Finn, Danny Gregory, Nicola Marsh, Caroline Pillman, Hania Rahman-Shepherd, Claire Traynor, Libby Turner, Catherine Walker, Katrina Weir, Alexandra Willis and Marnie Wills. Taipans in red from left to right for the penultimate match of the day, the women's final. Off we go. Here comes Caroline Pillman. Superb player. Plays for the England's national side. And a bit of ball juggling involved there from Danny Gregory. He couldn't quite bring that one in. These two have met each other already in this competition. South East Sharks had a very, very good game against the Taipans, but they did win 5-2. Sharks are the only team in the women's competition to go unbeaten. Taipans only got here through drop-off in the semi-final against the Midlands Tigers.
Really good work, Jen. Right, when we're going to be subbing on, they're going to be flooding up wide, so we want to get
Won most of their games, only drew one. Lost to the Sharks. It was a very, very close semi against the Tigers. Actually, it was so close, they drew both of their games. They drew in the pool stages 3-3, and when they drew again in the semi, it was time for drop-off. That's how close that was. Here comes Emily Clues at pace. And she goes through just in case, but she was touched on the way through. One of the quicker players on the pitch here today. Here comes Bronte Sykes, who was so decisive in the Sharks winning the semi-final. They got through very nicely indeed against a very good West Wildcat side. 8-3 the final score, but it was close until late on when the Sharks took the game away. And here comes Julia Unsworth, and there's the first touchdown. Beautifully done by Unsworth. Erin Payton is there to finish it off. Unsworth hit the gap really hard. Couldn't score as she's the half, as you can see here. Brilliant step to find the space. At this point, it was all about finding a pass, and she did it really well. Good finish from Erin Payton. The Taipans will have to come from behind. Marnie Wills in at half. A regional lead for the South East. She'll be very pleased on a personal level to see two South East teams in the final. She'll definitely want the one she's playing for to win, though, make no mistake about that. Taipans just reset. Marnie directing traffic. And in at half again. She's going to go all the way through on the scoop. Has she got a pass? Nearly. Caroline Pillman was out wide. Forward again, then come the Sharks. Really good pace again from Emily Irons. A really good athletic team. Here comes Lydia Ticehurst wearing 12, Irons at half. Ticehurst has Hogg outside of it. Go back short side, do they know? Here they come. Is the wing free? She wasn't particularly. Ayla Payton, the older of the two Payton sisters. Vicious ball. And if nothing else, it does take the Taipans well away from their sub-box. They'll start in the furthest possible place on the pitch away from it. And they resume off the roll ball. This is Nicola Marsh. Kenny Gregory comes inside as the Taipans do indeed hit the sub-box, and this is good movement. Pillman at half. She's so good on the scoop, very, very quick. Looked for the pass, that would have been a long way forward, I think. Either way, and it's out of play. And the Sharks will resume. Delighted to say joined by Sammy Phillips on the commentary. Now, you've played both of these teams.
That's right, yes.
You know how good they are,
Yeah.
deserving finalists.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, both of these teams are excellent. They've got groups of excellent touch players in these teams, and the standard has just gone up enough in the women's game recently.
And this player here had a big say in your semi-final. Bronte Sykes is
yeah.
terrific, and she's at it again in the final with a touchdown here for the Sharks. Hit the gap really well.
So a nice little quick play off the ground. Just step inside to draw the defender, and Bronte's in. Lovely dive.
Must be nice to see her do it against someone else for once.
Yeah, I mean, when she gets outside you, you really do start to get nervous because she's got electric pace.
2-0 then to the Sharks, 6 minutes played. And a relatively slow start from the Taipans. They're by no means out of it just yet. That was a risky ball,
There, yeah.
but they get away with it. Fresh set of 6 hit. Penny Gregory. Oh, that's a great
I think
effort.
she might have snuck that one in.
Yeah,
she has.
touchdown given. What a brilliant bit of work this is from Danny Gregory. She's such a good player to watch, and this is why. This is terrific skill. Anything you can do, Bronte.
Here she comes around the corner. They're very tight. She just slips underneath them with a lovely low dive.
Yeah, two very, very good defenders there in Livray and Ali Hogg. And
Just needed to get off the line a little bit more, I think, if they wanted to be able to save that a bit lower.
here come the Sharks again. Hogg on the attack now, which is where she is most dangerous.
Yeah, Ali's really developed her long ball recently, and some of the passes she's been given in this game have been exceptional.
And they just run out of touches there, the Sharks. Good defence from the Taipans. And they're keen to inject a little bit of pace into it as well. They have got some very quick players.
They have, once they get a roll on, they are pretty unstoppable, the Taipans. They just need to find their groove now.
And they close through the middle, and then Pillman on the scoop. Example
Very
of the pace.
Yeah, very pacey players. Yes, that's been deemed a hard touch. So they get another set on the line, so let's see what they can do.
Ronnie Wills there on the field, just directing traffic, so experienced and very familiar with playing with Pillman in particular for the England side. It's a dive for the line.
Yeah, they're Posho trying to dive for the line there, but the defenders wise to that now, getting off their line a little bit more and getting lower.
But they can afford to take their time, just drawing them out, and then they'll send them back.
He's trying to toy with the defenders a bit now, get them into the positions they want them in.
And then the injection of pace from Marnie Wills, and then can they go around? Not quite. That's well defended actually from the Sharks. It just shows that the ability of these attacking players. It's so difficult to defend with just one because they'll just pass it around you for fun.
Absolutely. You've got to work as a team. You've got to work so hard together.
Here comes Claire Traynor. Does she get through there? I think
A touch has been made again.
it's Emily Irons doing some really good defensive work in the middle there for the Sharks.
That agility that you need to be able to make the touch, get back and then get back up again, is really quite demanding.
Oh, now then, is that going to be forward is the only question. I'm not sure what's been given there, but either way the Taipans have the ball. That much we can say.
I didn't see a touch.
Wills, are they going to hit the wing again? It looks like they will, or will Clues get through? Not quite. Crucial touch by Hogg.
She's just having a go at showing and going herself there. I think she probably thought that the wing was defended.
Pressure really building here for the Taipans.
Little sweeper play now with Caroline on the ball.
And touchdown given.
She's going to say Hogg's offside. Sorry, the referee's. I think he's saying that Ali Hogg was offside. She looks like she's arguing. I can't quite see the camera's moved now.
You're just imagining that she will be. It's a great touchdown there from Caroline Pillman. Touch came in.
Oh no, not.
Did it even come in the end? I think Pillman had a pretty straightforward finish looking from that angle. Looked very congested from our main camera, but Pillman in, and it's 2 apiece. First glimpse of Lois Lau in the game. Such an influential player, and that's why.
That's down.
Well, 3-2, and after all the pressure that the Taipans have just had, the Sharks have gone straight at the other end and equalised.
That's right. I think the momentum in this game is so important. Once momentum's with you, just build on it. And I think that neither team want the other team to get that momentum, a score and then another score, so they have to attack straight back again against each other.
Bronte Sykes having quite the bank holiday Monday here.
Yeah, I mean, 3 defenders there trying to stop her.
Here comes Pillman at half with Traynor for support.
Zalia's up showing good body position, up to make that touch.
And all the way through for Danny Gregory. There's Gregory again looking for that low dive. This time I don't think she makes it. 6th touch called. I think it was a case of once bitten for the South East Sharks there, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I think they're alive to that now, getting lower and off their line a bit more.
Judah Unsworth as well, who's on the defence there, one of the most nimble and
She's
athletic
stretching her
players
legs
around.
now. Let's see if she can make it all the way. We've got cover defence. Oh,
That's going to be close. Touch called.
oh, all that running.
Well, that is not enviable on the on the final game of day 3 of a competition. That's not what any player wants, is it?
No, breakaways.
You can see there
Painful
Danny
to chase
Gregory
down, yeah.
feeling her calves. That is not surprising. What a break this is from Gregory to get back here.
Yeah, that was a great touch. Great touch.
Absolute touchdown saver. And that will hurt.
I think her pace has really come along in recent months. Really, really rapid player.
She's hobbled off the back of the end zone. You can see at the back of the picture there.
I think she went down quite hard as she made that touch.
We do hope to see her again. Here comes Irons. Now the South East Sharks can look to build up a little bit of pressure on the Taipans line. Just to say that though, Taipans get it back.
See, the legs are slightly more tired now. The driving doesn't have the same intensity as we've seen from earlier games. Even the players coming out of the box, we haven't really made much ground in those last couple of touches.
How hard is it when you get to the end of a competition to try and keep up that kind of? Having said that, Marnie Wills is giving it a good go.
Yeah, it's brutal. I mean, this number of games every day, and just the repeated sprints that you have to pull off, throughout 40 minutes of games is just so hard to do. And it's testament to these players that they are still running hard and scoring. Here we've got some good action coming up now. Lovely little nimble player here.
Emily Crowe, who never stops running.
One of my favourite players. And she's just secured another 6 on the line.
Yeah, she's been a real standout player for the Sharks in this tournament. Just seems to be whenever she's introduced, and she can play both attack and defence, just never ever stops sprinting.
That's right. I mean, she's so exciting to watch, and her agility is second to none in the women's game in this country.
Back come the Taipans though. Wills leads the charge away to the sub-box.
Miley's still directing play, even in the midfield here. Trying to work the ball around defenders, find some extra yards.
Oh, it's a great dummy. Not a bad pass either.
Stacey's got some gas.
It wasn't quite executed by the Taipans there. There's a good opportunity to free Stacey Collins.
Yeah, she's a very speedy player as well. I think if she'd been shown a bit more of the outside there, she could have really stretched her legs.
So the Sharks get it back, and here comes Emily Crowe and Bronte Sykes. Now Jenny Young. It's not a bad middle three to have, is it?
No, not at all. And these sides are now, you know, a lot of these players are gaining experience at international level, and all the tournaments that they've been playing in the last year or so, they're really starting to show the experience that they've picked up. The standard of the game is really much higher than it's been in the last couple of nationals.
I know you're involved in the setup at a wider level as well. That must be such pleasing news for you as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we're working hard to make sure that we're closing the gap on countries that have been previously untouchable to us. And with the World Cup coming up next year, that's something we're focusing hard on to upskill our players, improve our fitness and our understanding of the game, so that we can play competitively against the sides that previously have rolled us.
Final touch was made there on Emily Clues, just as he tried to squeeze through. Now it's the ball out there wide.
Oh, unlucky.
Nearly.
They were very fast off their line there, the Sharks, trying to put off and put pressure on the play.
And those are the balls where the wingers really sort of earn their corn in these finals, when it's hurled out and all eyes are on them to finish it.
That's right, that's right. And when you're throwing a long pass like that, you just want to see a winger running on it at pace, with their hands outstretched, ready to that mid-air catch and dive, because they're the glory ones. They're the ones you want to frame.
Well, we've seen so far in both of our finals, particularly the men's 30s just gone, that the defences were so concerned about either attack that the spaces were outside. And a good 3/4 of the touchdown came from the wing, when defences are conditioned to condense up and then the space is found.
That's right, and I think in the men's game historically we've seen those long passes, but now we're starting to see them more in the women's game too, which really stretches play. It's great to see that women generating those long passes to the wingers too.
Chance for Libby Turner to stretch her legs. In come the cavalry from the sub-box. Here comes Pillman.
She's lethal on a scoop. And see
So
her now
quick, here
stretch her
she
legs.
goes.
Yep.
Needs a pass though. Can she find one? She can.
Beautiful.
Beautiful
Well done,
work from Caroline Pillman. And Nikki Bird with the simplest finish. I think she'll have all game, maybe even all competition, but you said it just before she picked this one up. Talked her in. That's exactly what Pillman is so good at.
Absolutely, she really knows how to set up a scoop, and her acceleration is fantastic. There's Nikki Bird just being in the right place at the right time, as she always is, finding the space and securing the score.
Pillman was having to look round there just to make sure, because it just seemed too easy for her, didn't it?
Yeah, she's just got such acceleration that it's so hard to get back on side and catch her.
Here comes Ali Hogg. She'll do that. Didn't see anything on, so she just resets, and it's Emily Crowe and Bronte Sykes pick the move. That's a bit of a hard touch. Emily Crowe's not the biggest, but it does take quite a bit to dump her to the deck like that.
So they've actually deemed that loss of control there. So lost possession there in a good position, so they'll have to defend this now to not be pushed right back to their line.
Credit has to go to Caroline Pillman for what now officially has to be called a firm touch, not a hard one.
That's right. Yeah, a lot of it is, you know, the body positioning going into the touch. You've got to get that right and not be off balance. Otherwise, you won't get a hard touch for it.
Oh, there we go. I think we're just about to see a heavy touch call, are we? Either way, it's the Taipans who will resume off the penalty with Pillman. And they're just going to slow this one down. You can see the leader on the pitch is Marnie Wills, constantly directing. Good to see Gregory back on after her knock earlier.
That's right, yeah, and it wouldn't keep her out for long. She wants a piece of this action in the final.
She's here on the sweep.
Sweeper play. Marnie's just calm, resetting, go again. Don't throw 50-50 passes, just reset, run your plays.
Hooter sounds, it's flown by. Last play of the half. Marnie Wills, no way through. Emily Crowe gets the touch in. And that will do us for the first half. It's absolutely flown by. Great touch all round from both Sharks and Taipans, but it is level pegging. Who is going to walk away with the national title? We're going to find out in the second half. That's coming up for you very shortly.
I think this tournament is of paramount importance, really. I mean, everyone plays in their clubs and that's great, but to pick the best players from all of those clubs and then pit them against each other is wonderful. I mean, we all know each other quite well after playing throughout the year in a mixed and in women's, but it's just that step up of knowing what people do and how they work, and then getting these incredible players who would be competition working together against the other half of the country, essentially. So it's really good, and I think it does force people to really end that season on a high. Now most people will take a few months off, but to really work and graft for these spots. Women's especially doesn't get the same focus, and that was a real push this year to enter the Northwest in the women's series. The men's are phenomenal in themselves, but it's that move from mixed to having that focus on women's, and that's what we're trying to push the clubs to do as well. When you see clubs or regions, going into two teams, it just shows the strength that they've got coming through, and maybe that divided them a bit across both, but that means that they've got such a pool for selection, and that's phenomenal. Historically, I can speak more for women's than anyone else, but the selection pool's been a lot narrower, which just means that the commitment doesn't have to be there in the same way. When selections are really competitive, everyone has to show up and put their best foot forward, and I think that's what we're going to see going forward, is that the competition for those spots is just going to get tougher and tougher, which is great.
Yeah, the right time for a referee to interchange with his sideline buddy is when they're approximately 15, maybe 20 metres from the sideline, and it's at the right time for the play.
I've got you if they come, Ray. All the way back, Link.
Touch is a minimum contact sport where the aim is to score more touchdowns than your opposition. Touch team is made up of 6 players on the pitch with up to 8 substitutions. Those 8 substitutions can roll on the pitch at any time. Touch can be made of mixed teams or single gender teams. In a mixed team, there is a minimum of 1 man and a maximum of 3 men on the pitch at any one time. At an international level, touch games are made up of 2 20-minute halves.
Half time, girls.
But at all levels, you can have varying different half lengths and periods of time.
Very warm welcome back. There you see the South East Sharks team looking very composed. It's all square in the final of the Women's Open here at the National Touch Championships in St Ives. Steve Jones, Sammy Phillips with you on the commentary. So we're just having a bit of a chat off there about the benefits of playing touch, not just from a completely blind rugby standpoint, but also for players, because I know you came from a rugby background yourself.
That's right, yeah. And it's fantastic for rugby. It gives you so many of the transferable skills that you need to play rugby league, rugby union, rugby sevens. But in addition, the height and fitness is really, really noticeable.
Yeah, at the top level, these guys and girls are really, really top athletes.
But it's to perform those skills under fatigue time and time again that you don't often get the ability to practice in a game of rugby. So it's to be able to perform them a few times playing rugby or all the time playing touch. It just gives you so much more practice.
Tell you what, Caroline Pillman has made up about 23 metres there. A brilliant burst. She's in off the scoop.
Now. Oh.
And the play stopped.
There.
I don't think Caroline Pillman eventually got touched there, so I think Taipans will keep the ball, or will they? I think it depends on the referee's decision. I think the Sharks are going to get it. But they just see Pillman's ability frightening at times.
She can just slice through defences.
Which is not an easy thing to do in touch, because obviously it needs the thinnest possible touch to stop the play. To have that ability to ghost through is really impressive.
That's right. It's also crucial to get that strike roll ball correct as well, and she guides players very well to exactly where she wants them to place the ball, right in the kind of weakest point of the defence, so that she can capitalise on it.
Yeah, part of that brilliant England setup that recently had an excellent European Championships, as well. Quite a few of these players out on the field at the moment.
That's right. Yes, the England Touch had a fantastic European Championships, and a lot of these girls would have benefited and gained great experience from that.
And Gregory gets a bit of a firm touch just to hold the momentum, but Taipans can come again here. 3 apiece.
Tamani's made some great yards there.
Here comes Gregory.
Oh, she's through again. Not too far this time though.
Really important touch from Emily Ives, that. She caught the player offside, and that must be such a frightening experience as a defender when you've got a player breathing down your neck and you know you've got to make yourself back onside before you can do anything.
That's right, yeah. I mean, the rule that you can't obviously change direction as well doesn't help that, because you can't go one way then the other. You have to go the same way for that 5 metres, and so you've really got to make sure that you keep your eye on the ball and your eye on the player, so that you make sure that you defend as well as you can. And if they do go through, you've got to make sure that you're the only one chasing them, obviously, because they can't score, and everyone else finds someone else to mirror up with.
Gina Unsworth trying to pick a gap. It's a lovely drop off.
Oh, Addie, is she through?
She is.
She's in. Oh, she loves that.
She does indeed.
She's a favourite player of the players.
I think she knows the cameras are on, put it that way. What a finish and what a celebration from Addie Drutt this is. Brilliant work from Unsworth here to drop it off perfectly.
Hit a lovely line there.
Watch the reaction of Unsworth as well. She knows how big a score this is. In she comes.
Down it goes.
Fantastic stuff.
She's such a likeable character. I'm glad she got that one. She really deserves some good. She's worked really hard in recent months, so I'm glad she's getting the score she deserves.
Now here come the Taipans again, and are they in there? It's going to be close. Touch called. It was Georgia Clancy sneaking under the defence. An important touch right at the death. Still a chance here for Pillman. Lyons again. She's had a fantastic game in defence. Still got another 16 minutes to go. I don't want to put the curse on her, but she's having such a good performance.
That's right. I mean, things can happen and change so quickly in touch. Oh, Addie's off again. Hunted down this time. But she's got a penalty, I think, for an offside call. Can't quite see, but I assume that's what it was.
Sharks going to hit the sub box. Lois Lau comes on. Not seen a huge amount of Lois Lau, which really does show how good the Sharks' depth goes.
That's right. I mean, Lois is an exceptional player, playing for the England Women's 27s as well, who had a great Euros campaign too.
Here comes Unsworth.
Lois is so calm. You know, she'll be organising play, telling the sweeper to come round. She wants to take off herself.
Fires it out, Drutt 1-on-1, no way through. The Sharks can reset.
Last touch. Oh, is she in?
Lovely.
Oh, she's in again.
Doesn't know what to do with the second one. Doesn't expect to get two, Addie Drutt, but there it goes.
Lovely little switch play there. It came from nothing. There was nothing really on there.
And this is all from the work of Lois Lau, isn't it?
Yeah, all that acceleration to really draw that defender, chase hard, and then Addie's in.
Brilliant work from Lois Lau. Just drags Emily Clues across, and the cut is very good.
Just straight through that hole.
Lovely finish from Addie Drutt. Now to the gap for the Taipans to recover from.
Yeah, I think the Taipans will need to score soon to not allow momentum to get away from them.
Oh, Molly Will says see you later. That's a good ball outside. And that's going to be close. Touch called. Some really, really good defensive touch again on Alexandra Willis this time. I think it would have been a winger out there, Emily Hager, who got the crucial touch. Emily Crow's been in the wars a little bit.
She won't mind, she's tough.
Here comes Bronte Sykes at pace, and now Ali Hogg taking over as Young.
Great yards there from Jenny Young, very solid player.
It's a fantastic four-man drive through the middle. A good touch to stop Sykes' momentum.
Yeah, Treen was in there to make that vital touch. Now they've got another 6 on the line with a penalty. Oh, scoop off first. Just go brave.
No way through.
They're taking their time. They want to burn down the clock as much as they can, I think. There's a few tired legs out there.
Yeah, it's almost the benefit to twofold. Not only do you give yourself time to plan and rest up, but with the Sharks in front, only 13 minutes left. They will be looking to run the clock as much as possible while they're in front.
I think if the Taipans are able to secure a score now, then they're going to take the Sharks to the wire. We might even see a drop-off.
Oh, wouldn't that be brilliant?
You're quite a fan of drop-offs.
I am indeed, yeah. We were having this chat at half-time.
Yeah.
It is the most exciting way to have any period of extra time that certainly I've seen in sport.
It certainly draws a crowd.
Almost game show-like in terms of excitement. And here they come on the outside.
Oh, it's a lovely ball.
No space there really for Nikki Bird. Ali Drutt closed the gap very quickly. Now what you probably don't see there is that ball, when it was initially played, was really on. Nikki Bird was in space, but the gap that Drutt had to cover to almost race the ball.
Yeah, she's very, very fast and a very experienced winger, so she will have ensured that her positioning, her body facing out, would have enabled her to chase out and defend that long pass.
Here comes Lois Lau for the Sharks.
Leah on the ball.
Liv Wright. So play just slows down and the Taipans will get the ball back. And yet to score in this second period. It's not quite getting it all their own way. Emily Clues with a brilliant bit of pace.
Fast. Made some really good yards for them now. And see if they can keep this momentum and get Caroline to scoop off it.
And come the cavalry of Gregory, Pillman and Trainer.
So Trainer wants to strike dump for her.
No way around, good from Liv Wright. Might well have been offside there though. I think that's what's been given. So fresh set of 6, 15 or so metres out.
They really need this now. They need a score here.
Oh, nicely done from Pillman. Did she get over?
I think they're calling the touch.
It's a really important one for Rowan Payton, I think it is back there.
It's important once you make a touch and get back to the line, you get off your line, because as a defender slides the ball in, as soon as it touches the line, it's a score, so you need to get off that line and make that touch before they reach it.
Now Pillman on the scoop, needs the pass, and there it was, but Lois Lau breaks it up.
So the player who made the touch looks like they've deviated from the straight line they need to take, so the Taipans have got another set 6 on the line.
This is good pressure to build at a crucial time.
Yeah, they really do need a score here, and they know it. And we might be trying to force things rather than just slowing it down. Marnie will be the cool head here, the directs play, makes the correct decisions.
So much experience in Marnie Wills's brain, and here comes Pillman. Pillman again, trying to find a way through. Now, I don't think she got touched yet. Yeah, good honesty from Liv Ray. Pillman is in, it's 5-4. They did need to score, and they have scored. And it's a little moment of brilliance, this, because this is all her own work. Gets the play off the quickie, and this is all about the step hit. Great movement. And good honesty from Liv Ray as well in a final. That's what we like to see.
Touch is a game of honesty, so we definitely need that in our sport, and yeah, it'd be very rare for a player to call a touch when they haven't made one.
Wandsworth so agile.
So close, so close.
Bronte Sykes throwing herself at the line. You can see there a little bit of limp as she gets back up.
Yeah, there's some sore bodies out there now, for sure.
At this point in the day, 10 minutes left of the final, well, more like 8. Pure adrenaline keeping these players going here.
That's right.
Wandsworth goes for the dive.
Yeah, I think Nikki's made that.
Touch is made.
So the turnover reactions are not as quick as they used to be. Players taking their time to roll the ball, just trying to set their drive.
Cruz has been a real difference maker in the last few minutes. Her pace has got them some good cheap yards.
She's not only fast, she's very fit as well, so she can maintain that pace time and time again on those repeated sprints.
Here come the Taipans again then. They're only about 15 metres out.
Marissa Cat Walker on the ball, and the younger talents from England Touch. She's a very agile, quick player.
Now maybe a chance here. No way through. It's Georgia Clancy there. Here comes Cat Walker. Fires it out to the wing.
She's got a lovely pass on her as well. Really nice ball there.
Clancy. Is there any room? No. Rihanna touches. Fired out to the wing again. That's a great step, but no way through. Sykes on the cover from Link.
Nikki Bird also, scored many a touchdown with a nice step around her fellow winger. Unfortunately, not on this occasion.
See Lois Lau, Emily Crow keeping pace with her. Don't think she's got any other mode. Just runs all day.
That's right.
Hog has Lau to her left. Hog off the scoop, might go through here. Goes for the wing, passes a great ball. Hager's in, and I think she gets it.
They've put themselves 2 points clear again.
Big smile on the face of Emily Hager, and well there might be. It's a big score at this stage in the game.
So that's that long pass that I mentioned earlier that she's really been developing. Get that ball down.
Yeah, it makes you look really smart as a co-commentator. Well done. Called that one earlier, and there it is as an example later on. Now then, just over 5 minutes remain, to the difference. 3 at this point will probably win it for the Sharks. Taipans need a score soon.
There's Train on the ball.
Oh, it's a great effort from Danny Gregory. Just lost control of the ball, I think.
I think there may have been a touch before that. Just.
Now what's crucial here for the Taipans is they get over the disappointment of that move very quickly. They can't let the Sharks score again. Exactly 5 minutes remain in the final.
The Train's up there making those all-important touches. His defensive work is fantastic. I had the pleasure of playing alongside her for much of Euros, and she really is a fantastic player. Really, really cool head, really calm under pressure, and defensively so sound.
Nice little regime from halfway. Potentially a little bit of gamesmanship there. Whereabouts do we start from again? Eat out that extra few seconds. Everyone counts. Slightly slow to get in at half there.
Just trying to set something up now, see what they've got on their line. He's backing out. The referee's got to watch for those defenders dropping off.
Here comes Ticehurst.
Trying up them, putting pressure on.
Looks for Drudd. Is it going to be the hat trick? Not quite. It's a great defensive touch, and
Great touch from
good to see Addy recognising that as well. One defensive winger to another. Touch just made from Nikki Bird again. And the Taipans get the ball back. 3.5 to go. It's getting to the point where they're needing snookers. They need one soon. Probably off this attack, if we're honest. And in come the heavy hitters. Here comes Pillman.
And Poche there leading. Getting that ball down nice and quickly. Trying to set up that scoop play for Caroline.
Here she goes. Oh, she's going to go all the way through. Need to pass. Now then. Can it go down? Not quite. Not quite. It was close.
Not sure how she managed to get through there. They seemed quite congested, but she managed it with her stepping one way, stepping another way, finding the hole that wasn't there.
2.5 to go. The Sharks now just want to get this ball as far away from their own line as possible.
That's right. It all comes down to possession now, and they really need to use all 6 touches. You might be thinking just slow the game down, but it's not that simple.
This is where they want to slow it down.
Absolutely. They want to burn down the clock now.
But it's been given away. Taipans will come again.
And the adrenaline will be pumping now. They know the time's running down the clock. They'll all be just putting in those extra yards, putting that extra effort to get that ball.
Here comes Marnie Wills.
So
Now Danny Gregory. Wills a seasoned play caller. Here she comes leading the charge. No way through. There's half a chance for Kat Walker. Wills, that breaks down, and that may well be the Sharks' home now.
I think so. I'm sure there's chance for them to score 2 points in less than 2 minutes, and that would be exceptional.
What a performance it has been from the Sharks, not just in this final here, but also during the whole tournament. You've had probably the displeasure of playing them, but also the pleasure of watching them as well.
That's right, yeah. I mean, we had to play them in the semis, and yeah, they're a tough team to play against. They play with great speed, and it is hard to keep up with their speed of play at times.
They're just going to slow this one down. Minute left to go now. They are just about there. They're going to make it 2 from 2, the South East Sharks. Still to play in the men's final as well against the Northwest Blades. They may do the clean sweep. Oh, and Unsworth, did she squeeze through there? Not quite.
I think a touch was made there.
I think if anyone from the Sharks was to squeeze through, it probably would be Julia Unsworth.
Yeah, she's been playing fantastically well.
They're going to run the sweep. Here comes Liv Ray. And again, just eating up the clock. 30 seconds away. I know you've been around the circuit a little while. What does it mean to win a title like this, national championship?
Oh, it's fantastic. I think, you know, last year the Midlands Tigers won it, and I'm sure the Sharks will have sorely wanted to reclaim that crown.
Final play. The Taipans will look to give it one last go, but there it is, broken up by the Sharks, and last year's beaten finalists are this year's champions. The South East Sharks make it 2 from 2. The mixed and now the women's have gone through the tournament completely unbeaten.
Look at the joy in all their faces.
And just take a look what it means.
Many of these girls play together at club level, so they'll be well aware of how each other play in their games. So it's nice that they're, you know, they can be teammates and adversaries at the same time and hug it out at the end.
Yeah, I'm sure both teams would probably admit if they were to if they had to lose to someone, it would probably be each other.
Yeah, they're besties.
And see, all smiles at the ends, and those aren't sort of crocodile tears. Those are genuine. They are very, very good pals, this South East lot. Disappointment for the Taipans. They gave it really as good as they got, but I think in the end probably a deserved victory for the Sharks.
Yeah, that's right. I think the Sharks were a bit more clinical on the line, and I think that's probably the reason why they were those 2 points up. Just a little bit more execution on those plays, but the Taipans' driving play was really, really very good, and I'm sure they feel unlucky and a bit hard done by, but they can be proud of the performance that they put in. They were fantastic competitors.
Well, let's take a little look at how the game played out. The Sharks made the quicker start. Julia Unsworth has been superb all tournament, and she was at the heart of things here.
Lovely little step after a nice strike dump from Leah. A lovely grounding of the ball.
Erin Payton with the touch.
Here she is again. Fantastic effort there.
Yeah, and that just set the standard for this game, and the Sharks continued their level of performance. Bronte Sykes, who has had such a good day, so influential in the semi-final against the West Wildcats, then got in on the act herself with another brilliant finish.
It really was a lovely line that she cut there. A nice little step from Julia once more to throw the defenders, and goes in.
The Taipans, though, had plenty of their own good moments. It was very, very even the first half. Sharks set up shop really in the second, but in the first they did have some great moments. This was probably the nicest one of them. Danny Gregory, the brilliant low dive here.
Yeah, she's had a fantastic nationals.
Yeah, she was described by regional lead Marnie Wills as one of the very best players in the country, and she did exhibit that a few times in this match alone.
Absolutely. I mean, her pace frightens defenders, and as you can see, those low dives that she's able to pull off really makes her very difficult to defend. Lois on the ball here. A little inside pass. Bronte again.
So difficult to stop, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you were on the receiving end of it in the semi-finals, but it is for anyone. That is an incredibly difficult thing to stop. And speaking of difficult things to stop, Caroline Pillman on the scoop there.
Yes, she is difficult to stop. The unstoppable Caroline Pillman.
I'm sure she'll love you calling her that.
She's just
touchdown.
so calm with it. Just so calm and collected. Very cool customer.
Then we moved on to the second half. It was all square at half time. We were discussing, myself and Sammy, about how this second half would play out. And ultimately, if we look at the sort of the second half score, the Sharks got their points, but they defensively could barely be breached. And this was maybe the moment of the match for quite a few.
I would say this is a turning point here, and followed up closely by another one.
Addie Drutt's Paolo Rossi moment there.
She's going to replay that one for a long time. All over her social media.
I was going to say, if that's not gift somewhere by either her or one of her teammates.
There she
We're
is
doing it all
again.
wrong. That one's slightly less aesthetically pleasing, but over the line she goes. Not quite as perhaps slippery as it was yesterday, but she got there nevertheless. The Taipans never gave it up though. And when you've got Pillman in your ranks, it's very difficult to do that.
A little quickie play there. You see she's outside her defender. And then she steps in.
And they kept it going, the Taipans, but ultimately the Sharks were just that little bit better in the second half, executing really, really well. This is the play that sealed it, involving Lois Lau and Ali Hagen. A lovely finish.
Absolutely. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, that long ball game has been a feature of the nations like Australia and New Zealand, and now we're starting to see those types of passes in our game too.
Chris now is with Emily Irons, our MVP of the match.
No, that's not.
Emily, first off, you've had a lot of winning feelings so far this year, both with London Scorpions and now with South East Sharks. Do you ever get tired of it?
No, never. It's always amazing each time. So, yeah, it's wonderful to get the big W.
So you're against your nearest and dearest in the final, the South East Taipans. You know, we're both at club and region. You guys are really tight in the London area. Scorpions and Galaxy and CSSC, the big clubs, and as I said, between the Sharks and the Taipans. What's it like when you're coming up against them in the final?
It's always tough to play like your friends and people that you do play with sometimes at club level. You know sometimes what they're going to do, and they do it very well. So yeah, it's always tough. And we've even got some sisters playing against each other as well, the Paytons. So I bet that's a bit of a family rivalry.
Did they go head to head in any touches?
Yeah, they definitely have on the line. So
I spoke to Ali Hogg after your semi-final win, and she said it was likely to get a bit tasty because of the Derby rivalry. Did that pan out in the final?
I think there's always a little bit of Southeast versus Southeast, so but that's nice. It brings an atmosphere to the game, and it really makes you want it. So yeah.
You've been unbeaten all the way through the weekend. So when it comes to the knockout time, and especially when you know it's 40 minutes, and this defines how good you feel going back down the M11 tonight. So what pressure? So what are you guys saying on the sidelines? What the coaches, Dom Tripp, those guys? What are they saying to you?
It is always an extra added pressure when it's then like finals touch, because it's you will get knocked out if you lose. So, but it's just play our game, play what we know. We do what we do, and hopefully we get it all turns out okay and comes together for the win. So, and it has done today, so that's even better.
And it's all round in terms of just sum up the whole season. I mean, it's been a massively eventful season throughout England, touch club, country, and region.
Yeah, no, it has. It's been absolutely awesome. What a year for, especially women's touch. It's just getting better and better. Those, yeah. So hopefully it'll just continue to progress and get better and better. So.
The rest of your team, we're getting the "We love you, Emily" from the background. You are today's MVP in the final, though, so congratulations.
Thank you.
And we'll let you go over and get your medal and a well-earned beer afterwards as well, and set back to watch the men's open final.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.